Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. Eva still holds a candle for Tomas, and every time they are in the same room, the sparks fly, and there is chemistry abound. After Tomas had a lukewarm start to salsa night with Kat at Uptown, the heat came back, and soon the pair were dancing up a storm, and then continuing to fan the flames. They went back for round 2 of taking Kat to bed. It was a disaster, and Tomas soon left and returned to Uptown and found Eva there. The two were connecting as usual. In Wednesday's episode, Eva has a stunning revelation to share with Tomas. This week is going to be all about the colossal battle, as Leslie learns more and more about her birth mother and the huge sum of money that she inherits. Anita is going to have to confront all the demons of the past and a family enemy all in the same thoughts now. In Wednesday's episode, Anita and Leslie go head-to-head. This is the battle between the matriarch of the Dupree family and someone who has fought and scraped to get by and has the tenacity to take on Anita. Who will come out on top this week is anyone's guess. Derek entered a triathlon with no training and has now paid the price. Loss of focus and the desire to push himself harder than ever has led to Derek having the worst accident of his life. Derek went over the handlebars of his bike and damaged his spine. In Wednesday's episode, Andre rushes to the hospital after hearing about Derek and is surprised by Ashley's reaction to seeing him. Ashley, until now, hasn't had the chance to confront Andre about what she saw the night she went to his place and entered his apartment unannounced and saw Danny and Andre kissing. Or as Ashley says, "I saw you and Danny Dupree all over each other." Andre had no idea that Ashley saw this and is most taken aback. Can he explain this away and save the day? Hey babes, welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. Here's what went down Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. On Beyond the Gates, when Barbara's ghost loomed large, Smitty held to the house rules, and Eva couldn't stop her mama from strutting her stuff. On Beyond the Gates, Martin was welcomed by Smitty at the condo. The dads opened up a dialogue with Samantha and Tyrell to get into their feelings about meeting their biological mother, but they only wanted to talk about Martin moving back in. Smitty noted that Martin was there to support the teens, assuming they wanted to see June again. Both Tyrell and Samantha considered it enough that June had said what she'd needed to say the one time. The kids didn't desire another parent and thanked Martin and Smitty for giving them the family they already had. Samantha assured them that they had no intention of leaving them to live with June. Naomi called Martin with an anxious June at her side. When Naomi asked about the kids' decision, Martin relayed that they had declined any further visits with June. Crushed to hear the news, June worried that she had done something to turn them off. Naomi also had to dash June's hope that she could have one more visit with the teens just to say goodbye. June felt that, to them, she was a reminder that she had abandoned them. June got increasingly upset and even suspected the Hawthorns would drop her off hundreds of miles away, so she couldn't find her way back to her kids' house. She exclaimed that nothing mattered and tore up her beloved picture of them, to Naomi and Jacob's shock. Naomi bore the brunt as June yelled that Naomi had ruined her life. Jacob reminded June that Naomi had saved June's life by getting her into heart surgery. "For what?" June moaned. "Children who don't want me?" Even the fact that Regina cared about her didn't soothe June, and she took off, telling Naomi and Jacob not to look for her. Jacob recommended that Naomi give June time to cool down, assuring her that June had mechanisms to help her process her disappointment. Naomi blamed herself for not only upending June's life, but the Richardson Smiths. When the lawyer became concerned that June would end up hurting herself or someone else, Jacob silently understood that Naomi wanted him to look for her. A glum Samantha was the only holdout when her loved ones wanted to hit a board game cafe. Tyrell smirked that his sister was rethinking her decision to see June. Both Martin and Smitty let Samantha know that she was free to change her mind if she wanted. Samantha was sure June's feelings must be hurt, which bothered her, but she agreed with Tyrell that June had at least gotten to see how their lives were better for her having given them away. Smitty offered for Martin to stay the night, reminding him that it was only because the kids needed him, as Tyrell and Samantha listened. After an unexpected knock at the door, Smitty told Martin they had a situation. June had stopped by unannounced. The fathers were sympathetic, but told June that she couldn't be there, based on what their kids had chosen. Though Martin offered to have June driven anywhere she wanted to go, June called out to her daughter, knowing she was probably eavesdropping, as she had always done when she was little. Martin whispered for Smitty to call Naomi. As June promised she wasn't there to break up the family, she realized that Samantha and Tyrell seeing their biomom again must have been akin to an earthquake. Assuming Samantha could hear her, June went on to say that, during their reunion, the girl had looked at her with the same fear she had when June used to come home high. She just wanted her daughter to know she wasn't going to scare her anymore, then prepared to leave. But Tyrell and Samantha lumbered downstairs, telling June to have her say and go. Naomi called Regina, asking her to be on the lookout for June. Then Jacob beeped through, having heard that June had headed to Martin and Smitty's. Jacob wanted to join Naomi there, but Naomi thought it would feel less confrontational if she went alone. June sat down with Samantha and Tyrell and assured them that, just because she had given birth to them, it didn't mean they were going to turn out like her. The grumpy Tyrell was incredulous to hear that he had gotten his math skills an edge from his mother. June wanted the teens to know that there was no addiction on either side of the family. Her descent into drugs had been her own doing. Finishing, June stood up to leave, but Samantha stopped her. "You had to be a good person to give us up," Samantha conceded, though June didn't like hearkening back on that decision. The girl reasoned it had been significant that June had kept a photo of them. June stated she didn't have it anymore because of an accident. Both Martin, Smitty, and Tyrell agreed when Samantha wanted to give June an updated picture. June knew the rapping at the door meant the arrival of Naomi and acknowledged that she had to leave. But at least she knew the kids were safe and loved, and the kids knew they had a mother who was proud of them. "Nobody has to remind you how beautiful you are," June imparted. "You just make sure they never forget how smart." Smitty and Martin wished June well. June took one last look around and followed Naomi out the door. Martin and Smitty were proud of the teens and how they'd changed their minds about allowing June to talk to them again. The siblings agreed that getting closure without anger or guilt had been beneficial. Samantha added that they would probably see June again when she was ready. Back at Orphe Jean's with Jacob and Naomi, June rocked the couple by asking if it was still possible for Jacob to find her a bed at a shelter, the offer she had refused when they'd first met. June also wanted a job, notifying the marrieds that she actually did have skills. Jacob remarked that June seemed to be planning something. Naomi became concerned when June said she wanted to be prepared for the inevitable day that her children needed her in their lives. Eva came home with coffee and found Leslie dressed up. When Leslie declared that she now resided in the land of milk and honey, Eva joked that Leslie sounded like the nouveau riche who spoke in bad English accents. Leslie remarked that the smile she couldn't wipe off her face was actually genuine, but Eva's smile faded as she learned that Leslie intended to see Anita, since awesome yes. Without Anita, Leslie wouldn't be coming into Barbara's money. Questioning why Leslie was in such a rush to meet with Anita, Eva felt that Leslie would be better served by getting into the details of her inheritance with the lawyers. Leslie had a document to show Anita, but she wouldn't tell Eva what it was. Ms. Thomas recounted how Peaches had raised her when Barbara hadn't wanted her, and she was grateful that Peaches had brought her to this moment. Leslie proclaimed herself reborn. Eva wasn't sure she liked the reinvention and was concerned that Anita would let Leslie have it for what she did to Nicole. Leslie crowed that, without her birth mother, Anita wouldn't be a celebrity. Eva understood that Leslie wanted Anita to teach her about Barbara, but asked her to tread carefully. "Why start now?" Leslie replied. "Leslie, they are not ready for Miss Leslie," she trumpeted, telling Eva, "I finally got mine, and they are going to pay," making reference to the Duprees. At the Dupree mansion, Vernon shared Anita's disdain when La Dupree announced that Leslie was gracing them with her presence. Anita had only allowed the visit so they wouldn't be caught off guard, like they had been when Leslie ambushed them following the Richardsons' anniversary debacle. Vernon was sorry he couldn't stay and chaperone, but Anita assured her husband that she could easily handle Leslie alone. Vernon cracked that maybe Leslie wanted Anita's autograph, since, At the Articulettes concert, Leslie had been so close to greatness. Vernon let Leslie in, excusing himself, but not before he knowingly told Anita to keep things brief because they had a thing later. Once the former senator departed, Leslie purred that she had arrived and wasn't leaving for a long time. Anita was surprised to learn that Leslie was an Articulettes fan, but was taken aback when Leslie revealed that her favorite member was Barbara. Leslie commented on Barbara's video tribute, saying that it seemed like the surviving singers all loved her, even with the bad blood that had existed for years. Anita got tired of the lead-up, prompting Leslie to fume that Anita had kicked Barbara out of the group. Because of Anita and her treatment, Barbara had killed herself. When Anita balked at the accusation, Leslie gave her an opportunity to tell Barbara's story. "You owe me that," Leslie seethed. Anita retorted that she owed Leslie nothing and wouldn't elaborate further. Leslie reaffirmed that Barbara had committed suicide because she was tired of fighting Anita, who always had to have her own way. When Anita commanded Leslie to leave, Leslie frowned that she wasn't as easy to get rid of as my mama, which stunned Anita. Leslie waited for acknowledgement from Anita that she was Barbara's daughter, but the singer was not forthcoming, at least not until after she had her attorney confirm the DNA connection. Leslie proffered her birth certificate as further proof. "I would have known if Barbara had a baby," Anita spat. "You are nothing like her." Leslie took exception, incensed that her mother would still be alive if it wasn't for Anita, while Anita countered that Barbara would have been ashamed to know Leslie, a woman who had latched on to a married man and had his child. Anita argued that Leslie had no right to even speak Barbara's name, but Leslie reiterated that being Barbara's daughter gave her that right. When Leslie listed herself the sole beneficiary of the trust Anita had established for Barbara, Anita yelled that the money was for Barbara's sister, whom Leslie reported was also dead. Anita couldn't believe that Leslie was entitled to the cash she had set aside for Barbara all those years. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Thursday, August 21st, reveal that Nicole has a major relationship update to share with Kat. The question is, how will Kat react to this stunning news? Beyond the Gates-themed souvenirs, life has taken a turn for Nicole, and she seems to be quite happy. She has opted for a divorce from Ted, and despite his many attempts to make her rethink her decision, she is sticking to it. Now, Nicole has to share that major relationship update with their daughter, Kat. But outside of her relationship with Ted, what does life look like for her now? Will she remain single for a while? Will she go on to explore things with Carlton? That remains to be seen. Elsewhere, Danny lays down a few conditions of her own for Andre, and he'd be wise to take them seriously. After all the ups and downs they've faced, it looks like they might finally be finding common ground. Are they officially back on track? It certainly seems that way. Beyond the Gates, spoilers for August 21st also reveal that while Vanessa meets with a new client who has lofty demands, Vernon calls Bill for help, but Bill has some demands that need to be met first. Who is Vanessa's new client? Could it be Leslie? What favor does Vernon need now? And could it also have something to do with Leslie? Beyond the Gates-themed souvenirs. So, what do you think? Should Ted and Nicole reconcile? Or is it time for her to move on with Carlton? Share your predictions in the comments below. Get more BTG spoilers here. Beyond the Gates airs weekdays on CBS. The Beyond the Gates spoilers video preview for the week of August 18th features a whole lot of drama. Anita versus Leslie, someone getting kidnapped, and more. Coming up next week on Beyond the Gates, it looks like Leslie's luck may have just taken a major turn, and things are about to get messy. She and Anita are headed straight for a showdown, and neither one is backing down. Meanwhile, Vanessa drops by the Duprees with news she's certain they're not going to like. What could it be? You can bet it's nothing good. Elsewhere in Fairmont Crest, Eva starts pressing her mom with questions. After receiving some unexpected news, Leslie gets all dressed up and heads straight to Anita's. Naturally, Eva wants to know why Anita is the first person on her mom's list. Let's just say the visit is anything but friendly. When Leslie shows up, Anita loses it, and there may even be a slap involved. Anita demands that someone get that woman out of her house. Uh-oh. Elsewhere, Smitty tells Martin they've got a situation on their hands. But what kind of situation are we talking about? Also, Andre races to the hospital after hearing what happened to Derek, but he's not expecting Ashley's reaction when he encounters her. She calls him out, accusing him of lying. Andre swears he didn't, but Ashley tells him she saw him and Danny all over each other. And over in another part of town, Kat and Chelsea share a sweet heart-to-heart before their big launch party. Everything seems perfect, until it's not. Someone steps out of the shadows wearing gloves. Who is it? And who's their target? Things take a dark turn when Chelsea is attacked and someone uses chloroform. Is she the intended victim? Or just in the wrong place at the wrong time? That's your Beyond the Gates spoiler preview for the week of August 18th. Drama, secrets, and surprises are coming. Don't miss a second. Watch below. And we're not talking Nicole, who recently dubbed herself as the Fixer. On Beyond the Gates, Vernon's relationship with Bill, his former son-in-law, is complicated. They recently experienced turmoil when Kenneth, the bigoted busboy, tormented Martin, and the congressman had to reveal what happened to him and Vernon 2 years ago. Bill had to put his fixer hat back on, and Vernon felt the attorney had gone too far when the thug was discovered dead in a park. Vernon and Bill are back in each other's orbit this week. It's one of 3 moments on our radar. No matter how hard Vernon tries, whenever he finds his family in a bad way, he can't help but turn to the family fixer. And for years, that has been Bill Hamilton. The problem is, he is no longer married to Danny, and he's not feeling the love from the Duprees. Not for him, and not for his newbie wife, Naomi's former best friend, Haley. According to this week's teasers, Vernon calls Bill for help. That's only the first part of the scenario. The second part has Bill making demands that need to be met first before he charges back into action. Let's see, his demands may include unconditional respect and immediate acceptance for him and Haley in Fairmont Crest. Bill doesn't appreciate being treated like a second-class citizen, especially at the country club. Will Vernon meet Bill's demands, whatever they are? And does Vernon want to enlist Bill for Dana Leslie Thomas cleanup duty? He does have experience. Now that Ashley has rejected Andre, it's looking like he may work his way back to Danny. We're saying this because this week, Ms. Dupree dishes out some conditions of her own to Andre. So this means the nurse and the photographer are done, and Andre and Danny may give their situationship another try. It'll be interesting to see what Danny's conditions are. So far, they've had a friends with plenty of benefits, but no strings kind of thing going on. We'll see how their connection evolves. Teasers also hint at a character being in serious danger. When an assailant comes out of the shadows to attack their target, this has to be about Chelsea. Thanks to BTG's weekly video preview, we see someone chloroforming Chelsea. The logical assailant is Chelsea's ex, Allison, who's been acting hella creepy and stalkerish for the last few weeks. Their most recent conversation didn't go well. At one point, Allison's tone of voice took a dangerous edge. Did she take Chelsea, or was it someone else? Should we be suspicious of her abusive husband, Craig? Or even Chelsea's girlfriend, Madison? Who says money can't buy happiness? Not Leslie, who is more over the top than ever as she relishes the idea of being high, mighty, and happy. First on her to-do list, confronting Anita, who, unaware of what's going on, agrees to meet with her. Vernon wonders if his wife wants him to stick around for the fight meeting. "Since I know you have neither slept with nor fathered a child with Leslie Thomas," she quips, "there's a limit to the damage she can do." Yeah, keep telling yourself that, ma'am. Eva tries her darndest to talk her mom out of meeting with Anita, but has anyone ever talked Leslie out of anything? Eva suggests her mom tread lightly. "Why start now?" Leslie responds, literally dancing her way out of the apartment. Arriving at the Dupree estate, Leslie sings the praises of Barbara, essentially accusing Anita of driving the forgotten articulate to take her own life. Things get increasingly tense until Anita suggests it's time for her guest to leave. "I'm not as easy to get rid of as my mama," Leslie says. "That's right," she adds. "Barbara was my mother." The reality of the situation slowly dawns on Anita, especially after her attorney confirms Leslie's claim. Leslie brags about the money she'll be getting from her mother's fund, leaving Anita fuming. Leslie asks why Anita's so upset, given that it's not as if the money is coming out of her pocket. But Anita is the one who surprises Leslie by informing her that the money is, in fact, coming directly from Anita. Martin and Smitty are thrilled, and June crushed, when Samantha and Tyrell decide they're not interested in seeing their birth mom again. It becomes clear, however, that Samantha's having second thoughts. As June slowly absorbs the decision made by her children, she lashes out at Naomi, blaming her for the whole situation. "You did this!" she shouts, ripping up the picture of her children. "You're the one got me hoping for things that I'll never have, dreaming dreams. I wish I'd never seen their faces." Tears pouring down her face, June accuses Naomi of having ruined her life. Martin is thrilled when Smitty invites him to spend the night, even if it is on the couch. Even as Naomi is asking Jacob to track down June, she's exactly where you think she is, at Martin and Smitty's place. Despite the men trying to talk her out the door, she shouts words of encouragement to Samantha, whom she's sure is listening in. Tyrell and his sister eventually come into the room so that June can offer them words of encouragement and love. She then is ready to leave with Naomi, and for a second, it looks as if maybe the kids will give her a hug. But this show never goes exactly where you think it will, so there's no happy ending. Instead, June gives them one last look as she leaves. The kids are embraced by their dads. Later, she asks Naomi and Jacob to help her get a job and a bed in a shelter. One day, her kids are going to need her, and she intends to be someone they can be proud of. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, August 20th, indicate some bombshells on the horizon in Fairmont Crest. Eva Thomas has shocking news, while Anita Dupree clashes with Leslie Thomas. Plus, Andre Richardson is surprised by someone's reaction after he, too, makes an unexpected move. Read on to learn more about what's coming up on the CBS soap. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, August 20th, hint that Eva will share some stunning news with Tomas Navarro. It sounds like she'll bring Tomas into the loop about learning that her mom, Leslie, is the daughter of an articulate. Fans were completely caught off guard to find out that Leslie was adopted, and that Barbara Mitchell, the fourth member of the girls group who took her life, is Leslie's real mom. This changes the game for Leslie on so many levels. What will Tomas's response be? Speaking of, Anita will learn about Leslie's news, and the two women will clash. This is interesting on so many different levels, considering Leslie stands to inherit the very trust fund that Anita set up for Barbara's family. As Leslie is the one who tore Nicole Richardson's marriage apart, this entire situation will cause a ripple effect of drama within Fairmont Crest. What happens next? Across town, Andre will learn about Derek Baldwin's accident and rush to the hospital to see him. Ashley Morgan will react to Andre's move, which will catch him completely off guard. Ashley's reaction could unravel in so many ways. Will Ashley be touched by Andre's concern over Derek? Or could she lash out at him for being there? After all, Derek was really hurt when he found out that Ashley was pursuing a romance with Andre, and the firefighter believed that Ashley and Andre had feelings for each other, while the nurse was dating him. As Derek is struggling, will Ashley believe that Andre's presence is inappropriate? Or will she see just how sensitive he can be? Are you pumped about Wednesday's episode? Comment below, watch your favorite CBS soap daily, and check out CTS often for the best Beyond the Gates spoilers, news, and updates. Next on BTG, Anita and Leslie butt heads. Eva shares a stunning revelation with Thomas. Andre rushes to the hospital and is surprised by Ashley's reaction. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, August 20th, 2025, tease Anita and Leslie's showdown, which could end with a slap. Also, Eva will share a stunning revelation with Tomas. Andre rushes to the hospital after learning about Derek, but it's Ashley's reaction to seeing him that has him reeling. Things will take a tense turn in Fairmont Crest. This is the moment that fans have been waiting for. Anita and Leslie will go head-to-head, leading to the biggest clash ever. This fight could end with a slap heard around the neighborhood. Meanwhile, Eva will have a shocking revelation to share with Tomas, which could change the dynamics of their relationship. This has us wondering where their relationship is going. Is Tomas genuinely attracted to Eva, or is he using her for his career advancement? This revelation could clarify Tomas's true feelings for Eva, or reveal his hidden agenda. Andre rushes to the hospital upon learning about Derek's emergency. This puts him in the path of Ashley, which leads to an awkward encounter. Andre is caught off guard by Ashley's reaction upon seeing him. It sounds like this love triangle isn't going to end anytime soon, unless there's something that Ashley says or does that surprises Andre. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for August 18th, 2022 are here. The upcoming week features some heartbreaking and terrible news. You do not want to miss a moment. Check out the full spoilers below. Monday, August 18th, episode number 114. Leslie learns her luck may have just changed. Doug doles out advice for Ted and some critical information to Jacob, and Ashley calls on Shanice to help Derek. Naomi relays some heartbreaking news. Martin and Smitty deal with an intruder, and Anita is forced to relive painful memories from her past before grappling with information that will affect her future. Eva has a stunning revelation to share with Tomas. Anita and Leslie go head-to-head, and Andre rushes to the hospital after hearing about Derek and is surprised by Ashley's reaction to seeing him. Nicole has a major relationship update to tell Kat. Vanessa meets with a new client who has lofty demands. Vernon calls Bill for help, but Bill has some demands that need to be met first, and Danny dishes out some conditions of her own to Andre. Danny and Naomi receive terrible news from Anita and Vernon. Ted seeks out Bill's legal expertise. Kat and Chelsea have a heart-to-heart before their big launch party, and an assailant comes out of the shadows to attack their target. As the Beyond the Gates spoilers for the week of August 18th, 2022 reveal more drama, you can't afford to miss it. Beyond the Gates airs weekdays on CBS. Tune in! Leslie continues to win on Beyond the Gates instead of paying the price for her misdeeds. Beyond the Gates created a master villain with Dana Leslie Thomas. She and her daughter, Eva, brought drama to the Dupree family in more ways than one. It's time for her to pay for her misdeeds, but Leslie seems set up to keep winning. The current BTG storyline is headed in a direction that will likely give Leslie access to a decent sum of money. She is the daughter of Barbara Mitchell, the articulate woman who never received the credit she was due. However, Leslie has been slinking around town, causing trouble for Ted. Her plan to get Eva into Nicole's orbit worked, and yet, she never paid for running Laura off the road and nearly killing her in the hospital. We haven't forgotten, but it seems the people of Fairmont Crest have. There hasn't been any mention of the situation in weeks, after Kat continued to push Jacob to find enough evidence to put Leslie away. Is jail time a lost cause? After learning about Barbara Mitchell being her birth mother, Leslie is ready to use that to her advantage. It looks like Anita and Leslie will go head-to-head, and that's precisely what needs to happen. Barbara Mitchell is just another win for the villain of Fairmont Crest. Up to this point, there have been no real consequences for her. She continues to use Eva to get money from Ted, and it works every time. Despite all of her misdeeds, Leslie continues to rise above the rest. Things appear to be getting better as the weeks go by, while the Richardson family continues to fall apart. Her mission to destroy Ted's life has worked, leaving him in the cold regarding Nicole and their kids. Next on BTG, Leslie's luck has changed. Doug has advice for Ted and pertinent information for Jacob. Ashley enlists Shanice to help Derek. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Monday, August 18th, 2025, reveal that Leslie learns that her luck has changed. Meanwhile, trouble is coming for other characters. Doug has advice for Ted and important information for Jacob. In addition, Derek is in jeopardy, which means that Ashley needs Shanice's help. Leslie is the self-assured and confident woman who's 10 steps ahead of everyone else. She usually knows what's going on, as she's the one who's scheming. But now, there's someone from her past who's causing her heartache. Leslie's mother figure is in town, and BTG fans are wondering what she has to say. Leslie might outrun people, but she can't escape them, especially when it comes to her past. She's been ignoring her surmounting debt and legal problems and keeps attempting to extort money out of Ted. But it's all bound to catch up with her and come crashing down. However, on Monday's episode, she'll find out that her luck has finally changed. Will her life change for the worse or better? Meanwhile, an unemployed Doug is finding ways to keep busy. First, he offers up some advice to Ted. This might be the 411 he needs amid the news of his divorce from Nicole. In the same episode, Doug will also share some critical information with Jacob. What does Jacob need to know now? Does this have something to do with his family? There's a medical emergency involving Derek. Awkwardly enough, Ashley has to take care of the matter. She will enlist Shanice's help. Will they be able to resolve this medical crisis together? And will this bring Ashley and Derek back together? Their relationship seemed dead on arrival, but you never know with this couple. This could further complicate things with Andre. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!